I see what happened here. The story is strong and cinematic, but it's bloated with long expositions, repeated explanations, and boring filler like over-detailed dealership descriptions, repeated reminders of Maggie's wealth, or too many speeches clarifying the same lesson. What I'll do, keep the core dramatic arc, humiliation, reveal, powerful reversal, redemption. Cut redundancies and over-explaining. Keep dialogue crisp and cinematic. Expand scenes with emotional beats, tension, and visuals instead of repetitive narration, so the story length stays in the 5,000 to 6,000 characters range but feels much more gripping. Here's the rewritten, streamlined version. The glass-walled showroom of Boston luxury motors gleamed under the morning sun, filled with Porsches, Ferraris, and Bentleys. Wealth had a scent here: leather, polish, and quiet arrogance. Through its doors walked Margaret Maggie Collins, 35, her brown ponytail swaying, dressed simply in jeans, a white t-shirt, and worn sneakers. Her modest appearance hid a truth no one here suspected. She was the powerhouse behind the Collins Foundation, which had raised millions for children with disabilities. She paused before a sleek midnight blue Azure coupe, the exact car she wanted as a gift for her sister Caroline, who had just beaten breast cancer. "Good morning," said a young salesman, Daniel nervously straightening his oversized suit. "Is there something you'd like to see?" Before she could answer, the dealership's sales manager, Blake Thompson, slid in with a sharp smile. "I'll take it from here, Daniel." He gave Maggie a quick glance, eyes lingering on her sneakers. "Looking for directions, ma'am?" "No," Maggie said politely. "I'd like to learn more about that one." She pointed at the Azure. Blake chuckled. "That's a $285,000 limited edition, appointment only. Perhaps you'd be more comfortable in our used car section, 3 blocks east." Maggie's calm expression didn't waver. "I'd like to see the interior." Blake leaned closer, lowering his voice. "This isn't a place for window shopping fantasies. We cater to serious buyers." Across the room, 2 salesmen snickered. Customers turned to watch. Daniel fidgeted, uncomfortable. "I'm prepared to make a cash purchase today," Maggie said evenly. Blake burst into laughter loud enough to echo. "$250,000 in cash? Dressed like that?" He gestured dismissively at her outfit. "People who can afford these cars don't walk in looking like you." The room fell silent. Maggie's cheeks warmed, not with shame but anger for everyone who had ever been judged like this. With quiet dignity she whispered, "My money is as good as anyone's." Blake sneered. "Make an appointment, dressed appropriately, with proof of funds, or leave." Even the dealership owner, Richard Mason, who had wandered over, sided with Blake. "Miss Collins, was it? Our clients understand exclusivity." Maggie gave them one last steady look. "I see." She turned and walked out as whispers followed her. Outside, the morning air felt sharp against her skin. She dialed a number. Her humiliation had already hardened into resolve. The next morning, the low purr of a Rolls Royce Phantom silenced the entire showroom. Its deep midnight blue paint shimmered like water under sunlight. A uniformed chauffeur stepped out, opening the rear door with white-gloved precision. From the car emerged Alexander Collins, Maggie's husband. Tall, salt and pepper hair, his tailored suit whispered wealth without flaunting it. The man who had revolutionized renewable energy storage was worth billions, but carried himself with effortless restraint. Blake was on him instantly. "Welcome, sir. Blake Thompson, sales manager. May I show you our finest models?" Alexander's calm gaze stopped him. "I'm here for the Azure Coupe. My wife came yesterday to see it." Blake's smile froze. "Your wife? I don't recall." "You do," Alexander interrupted. "Jeans, white t-shirt. You told her she didn't belong." The color drained from Blake's face. Daniel, hovering nearby, spoke up. "It's true, sir. She was polite and clear, and she was dismissed." All eyes turned to the young salesman. Alexander's voice cut like glass. "Maggie Collins has raised over $50 million for children with disabilities. She dresses simply because she believes humility keeps her grounded. And yesterday, she was laughed out of your showroom." The crowd shifted uneasily. Richard Mason stammered, "Mr. Collins, please, this isn't—" Alexander held up a hand. "Actions speak louder than apologies. I came to purchase the Azure. And more. A full corporate fleet, 7 vehicles. Perhaps more for my collection." The room gasped. Blake exhaled in relief, until Alexander's tone sharpened. "But I question whether this dealership deserves that business." Richard blurted, "We'll make this right. Anything." Alexander's gaze landed on Blake. Then let him volunteer at my wife's foundation, not as a guest, as staff. Let him move chairs, guide children in wheelchairs, learn firsthand what dignity looks like. Blake swallowed, pale. And Daniel, Alexander added, you'll handle all paperwork for the Azure. Daniel's eyes widened. Me, sir? Yes. Integrity deserves reward. Weeks later, at the Collins Foundation Gala, the Grand Boston Hotel glowed with chandeliers and laughter. Not from the rich, but from children. Blake Thompson, stripped of his tailored suits, wore a plain volunteer uniform. He pushed wheelchairs, set tables, and listened. Humbling, he admitted when Maggie found him. She studied him with quiet grace. The question isn't if you regret it, it's what you've learned. That worth isn't determined by appearance, Blake said softly. And respect should be given first, not earned. Maggie nodded. Good lessons, costly ones. Across the room, Alexander joined them. I hear you're staying on as a volunteer, Blakey. Yes, sir, Blake answered, surprising even himself. And at the dealership, we're done judging by appearances. Alexander's sternness softened. Then perhaps you can handle that corporate fleet after all. Blake blinked, stunned. I'd be honored. Later, as he wheeled young Thomas to the dance floor, the boy grinned up at him. You're pretty cool for a grown-up. For the first time in years, Blake laughed genuinely, and he knew the boy was right, because true wealth isn't in cars, clothes, or status. It's in how you treat people, especially when you think no one important is watching.